Hello, you are watching Half Asian Tarot Queen. I am Lisa, here to do a reading. The last reading that I did was it was like a reading for the solar eclipse, and I think this one is going to be like more generalized, and it's going to be focused for the entirety of eclipse season, which is kind of the period in between the solar and the lunar eclipses. So that might give us like a little bit more range into what we can expect. There's always big, eclipse season is typically a pretty transformative moment in general. So, you can expect some significant shifts to go down. But we'll see. We'll see what the cards say. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is interesting because, so we got friendship, support, fun, unity, and play. So that's good. And then we also got the divine masculine, which is electric active power. So it's really interesting because in the actual solar eclipse reading, for the kicking off of eclipse season, I got the divine feminine came out, and so it's interesting that the divine masculine comes out for the eclipse season. And so I think that might speak to a balancing of divine masculine and feminine energies. And I mean, this kind of speaks to positive developments in the realm of relationships. So, I mean, maybe even just like cooperation with the divine masculine and feminine energies in like a platonic sense. We'll see. We'll see what else we get. Interesting. Okay. When I pulled out Intuitive Goddess at the bottom, interestingly enough, we got Temperance, which is a card that's all about healing and balance. So that's interesting, considering what I was just saying. But I'm going to keep shuffling and see what we get. So what are we going to get for eclipse season? We are in Scorpio season, so that's pretty intense emotional energy. Wow. Okay. What's coming out for this, it kind of speaks to like a clearing. And I mean, really of like sort of the emotional realm. So that's interesting. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Wands, which speaks to conflicts. Kind of a conflict of interest and fighting, and kind of the opposite of this. Oh my gosh, what's interesting too is when I picked up friendship, right underneath we got the divine feminine. So I think that really does speak to sort of like this balancing in a platonic way of divine masculine and feminine energies. But the first card we get is the Five of Cups. So this is kind of like a card of loss. There's 3 cups that are spilled, but it's also a card of focusing on the positive and just taking the 2 remaining cups that you have and going forward, and not continuing to like belabor the past, but actually just sort of taking stock and just shifting your vision forward, and instead of focusing on the loss, just like focusing on what, and having gratitude for what you do have, and then coming up with a new plan to move forward with that. And we have Death, we have the Ten of Wands, and we have the Four of Swords. So what I'm kind of getting is, it's like sort of like an acceptance maybe that this conflict is like, it's just not really worth spending energy on anymore. It's like time to move forward. Like, it's time to just sort of assess where we are, cut our losses, and just accept the change. Put the burden down and just sort of like take a minute to like heal and clear the energy so that you can like move forward in a more positive direction, and maybe finding a more positive balance between these energies, you know. And maybe it's like a period of healing, like if it's speaking to like a relationship, you know, between a divine feminine and masculine energy, it's like maybe the relationship that we're like moving on from caused a lot of wounding, and it's like, it's not really time to jump into a new relationship. It's more time to just like hang out with your friends and like heal and see what comes out of that, you know. Like, the best relationships start in friendship, and so it's just sort of like this sort of in-between period, where you're just considering possibilities, but like not really jumping into the next thing. You're sort of taking a rest in between what it was that you just came out of and what we're moving forward into. And so I think this eclipse season is kind of going to be like really a period of healing from whatever this loss is. Okay. All right, so we got the Bat and the Hellboar, intuition. And we got the Squirrel and Chestnut, preparation. It's interesting because, like, I think in the last reading I was talking about, because there's all these acorns. There's, like, as you can see, trees all around. And there's, like, acorns, like, always just, like, hitting. And it's sort of like time to sort of start storing up for the winter, you know? And so it's just like getting prepared, following your internal guidance about how to move forward. And like, it's almost like we're just planning for the winter. Like, we're gonna chill out, and we're gonna heal and rejuvenate ourselves, and we're gonna, you know, start entertaining the possibilities for how we're gonna move forward from here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the Law of Attraction, see what I get here. All right, this one just flipped. It's interesting because we have this cat in a tree, and the card says, I attract the essence of whatever pleases me. It's like when you go into your creative workshop, the winter of the creative workshop, you can begin to assimilate the data that represents your preferences, and as you assimilate the data, you will prepare a picture of self from which you will begin attracting into your experience the essence of all that has been pleasing you. So it's kind of what I'm getting for this eclipse season is, it's really a moment to just chill out and process everything that happened, and really just start to not be attached to any outcomes, but just kind of considering possibilities and what is resonating, so that you can get some clarity about how we're gonna, you know, move forward. Like, this eclipse season is really about purging and cleansing loss and relationships that aren't serving and situations that aren't serving, putting burdens down, and just basically cleansing the landscape for a new beginning. Okay, so I'm going to the Queen of the Moon Oracle and pick a couple final. Oh my gosh. Just a second. I lost the, okay, well anyways, we got okay, we got Beauty, and it's interesting because there's all these butterflies in this card. And yesterday I was talking in the Eclipse reading, I was talking about metamorphosis and butterflies. We got Peace. It's really a time to like go inward, sort of like heal your own vibration. And then we got Hunger. So this is maybe going more towards the lunar eclipse. We have this where we have the full moon, where we might have some sort of like apex where we kind of get some clarity about what our dreams are for moving into the period after the eclipse season. So interesting. It's going to be like a time to just sort of like slow down, take stock, and heal.